Hi guys, I'm Phil Town from Rule One Investing, and today I want to talk to you about the next big meeting of the Federal Reserve under the new Biden administration. So the Federal Reserve holds 8 meetings this year, and perhaps others as needed. As you know, the Federal Reserve recently held its first policy meeting under the new Biden administration. They did that just in January. They're doing another one this month. We got a new president in office. We've got new systems and policies and influence going on. Things are changing a bit for us, and we're likely going to be impacted as investors in some sort of way and not in a minor way. And I recently covered this topic on a Facebook Live, so I basically want to share some of those highlights with you guys right now. So let's jump into my reaction. So right now, the Federal Reserve just met to see if they want to continue this artificially accommodating economic idea, theory, speculation, if you will, about how we're going to handle the problems of the COVID pandemic. And they've come out and they've said that we are going to continue this easy money policy until we start to see inflation. So effectively, they're saying the same thing they've been saying. They haven't changed it any, with the exception that they didn't really overemphasize that they weren't going to change anything until the end of 2023, which is what they've said in the past. So now we've got a question. It almost is like they're trying to walk this tightrope of not getting ahead of the market and saying, yeah, we're starting to see some inflation. We don't want that, and we're going to raise interest rates to slow down the economy, right? That would be what they would try to do. But if they said that, the market might crash. Real estate might crash immediately. And both of those things are in a state of enormous inflation. So let's about what they're trying to achieve. What they say they're trying to achieve. And by the way, I know I'm going to sound like I'm criticizing the Federal Reserve. They are the smartest guys in the room, but usually the smartest guys in the room aren't smart enough for the big sea changes because they have, I don't know, because of bureaucracy or because of whatever, they just aren't. And I mean, the smartest guys in the room got us into Vietnam, okay? The smartest guys in the room got us into Iraq. So let's get serious. The smartest guys in the room aren't smart enough a lot of the time. So don't trust these bankers to have it wired. They're just doing the best they can. And they see it as their job is to have inflation at about 2%, right? And right now, I believe all inflation is running about 1.7%, and core inflation is running about 1.3%. And so they're saying everything's under control, right? Now, the problem with that is what they consider when they're looking at inflation is very different than how we maybe necessarily spend our money. And that's a problem. So let me run over a few inflation items for you that are substantially above that little 2% target and would be substantially important kinds of things you'd think that they'd be paying attention to, but are not. Core inflation, amazingly, does not include energy, and it doesn't include food in the United States. So apparently you can have no inflation even if you can't afford to buy food or energy. And of course, that's not the case yet, but it's getting there. Food has gone up, is averaging 4% growth rate per year now. And a 4% growth rate inflation on food means that food will cost twice as much in, let's see, is that in 18 years, food prices will double at a 4% inflation rate. Energy costs, in spite of the fact that oil prices are down 15% from what they were a year ago, energy prices are rising at about 3%. So core inflation, which is how they decide whether they're going to increase your Social Security check or not, is 1.3, while food's going up at 4, which is what people who are retired tend to buy, is food and energy, right? Now that's not all. The two big purchases for the American family, the two really monsters that many, many people have to face, and by the time they get into their 40s, are the purchase of a home and the purchase of college for their kids. Now, both of these are out of sight right now in terms of inflation. Home prices as of December were compounded at an annualized rate of 10.4%, slightly above the target of 2, right? 10.4%. The Federal Reserve doesn't know what to do about that because as they keep interest rates low and we keep looking for some place to put this money that they're handing out, right? This seems to be a good place to put it, in a home, and people are going out and buying homes faster than maybe ever. I think December is the fastest rise of home prices in maybe a long, long time, if not ever. The other one is college, and those rates have been going up at an average of, I hope you're sitting down, 8% per year now for almost 35, 40 years. 8% a year. So this is just incredible how difficult it is to get smart people like at the Federal Reserve recognizing what ordinary people are spending their money on is going up like a rocket ship. And so you have this huge disconnect between the bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., who are looking at the basket of things, right? When they subtract inflation, if Apple puts out a computer that replaces the old computer, and the old computer now goes down in price, so that's a deflationary item. And the impact of, obviously a home, the impact of college, the impact of energy, the impact of food is more important than, buying a computer. So I don't know if they're being misled by their own, BS basically, but I don't think they're really dealing with reality. And I think that a few of them know that. So there's a chart that they put out that I just took a look at. I wish I could show you guys this one. I can't even find it myself. Here it is. So you can look this up on the federalreserve.gov and go to economic research. They produce a paper. It's called the Summary of Economic Projections, or Google the Summary of Economic Projections. It's March 17th, 2021. So they just did this, released at 2 p.m. today. So this is the summary of the Fed meeting. And on page 4 of 17, there's this fascinating flippin' chart right here that is stunning. What it shows is a blue dot of the bankers at the Federal Reserve, and there's X many of them from each region, right? So you got a group of them that are voting, and the votes for where interest rates should be in 2021, and they're voting that they should be at right where they are. Okay, so they're all voting that's where they should be all the way through 2021. And then when they're asking them, what do you vote for interest rates to be in 2022? Almost all of them voted for interest rates to be right where they are today. So right there at that, we're not going to change interest rates. It's going to be right where it is today. We're not changing them until 2023. Remember that? Until the end of 2023. Okay, so in 2024, then you should expect that the Federal Reserve governors would be showing with their blue dots that they're going to expect interest rates to be higher, except they show it in 2023. About over a third of them are voting that interest rates go from about 1% right now to, let me see what that is. Yeah, so this is the federal fund rate. This is the one that they control. Federal fund rates is almost zero. It's like point something. It's like 0.1 or 0.2. So keeping it at 0.1 or 0.2, nearly zero, all the way through 2022, and we start to see some of them saying, no, it's going to go up. But by 2023, middle of 2023, a bunch of them are saying, oh, it's going to go up a lot. Okay. Now, this scattering of votes that they're making public is going to start, if they keep doing that, it's going to start rattling the markets, because the markets are going to anticipate this impact of raising interest rates, of raising the federal fund rate by 1,000%. They're going to think that's going to have a fairly significant impact. So now I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you anticipate coming out of this last Federal Reserve meeting? I mean, how do you think it's going to impact investors? Love to hear from you. So leave a comment below with your answer. Be sure to follow up with you, and thanks for watching. Now go play. You guys, if you enjoyed this video and you feel it was valuable in teaching you more about the Federal Reserve meetings for 2021, hit the like button and please share the video with your friends. And if you want more investing content, just subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching.